Hello and welcome. I'm Ryan Tarrant, President and CEO of the Bay Area Chamber of Commerce. On behalf of the Bay Area and Saginaw County Chambers of Commerce, the Midland Business Alliance, and our partners at Bay Future and Saginaw Future, welcome to today's webinar, Delivering Support for Michigan's Small Businesses. As our small businesses deal with the COVID-19 crisis and the uncertainty it brings, we've seen our communities come together in a number of ways to help. Today, we're happy to be joined by a great Michigan company, Consumers Energy, that's stepping up to help small business in a time of crisis. First, I'd like to turn things over to Joanne Crary, President and CEO of Saginaw Future, to share a little bit about what her organization is doing to help businesses during this crisis. Joanne?
Well, thank you, Ryan, and thanks to Consumers Energy and especially Lauren and Kelly for your leadership and support. At Saginaw Future and the Saginaw Chamber of Commerce, we try really hard to anticipate the needs of our small businesses. So while we've been doing all we can to support the needs of our businesses, we're also looking ahead to the days when every business can reopen safely. So over the past couple of weeks, we've been searching for best practices for reopening. If you take a look on our websites, you'll find a link to the various reopening playbooks as well as reopening plans of several states, which give specific requirements and recommendations by industry. So our goal is to have our businesses look forward to opening safely and prepare for the days ahead.
Thank you, Joanne. I know that our economic development organizations have become an integral part of both dealing with the crisis and how we get through it and where we go afterwards. I'd like to invite Trevor Keys, President and CEO of Bay Future, to share a little bit about what our economic development organizations are doing right now.
Yeah, thanks so much, Ryan. I want to echo Joanne's statements too and thank consumers for making this webcast available for everyone that's looking that are looking diligently for resources during this unprecedented time, a phrase that's overused but succinct in talking about where we're at. We're working diligently to provide resources to those businesses that are most affected during this time. And on the heels of the implementation of the Michigan Small Business Relief Grant Program, along with our economic development partners, we were able to inject nearly $1 million in grants that we continue to field calls and identify programs that are making funding available through the CARES Act and more continuously. But we're very proud of that fact. And we're working closely still with community partners and private foundations and colleagues across the state to address those largest needs that we're seeing, specifically in Bay County, but using those programs that are maybe working in other parts of the state as well and bringing those here that identify opportunities to access capital to keep those small businesses running through the Stay Home, Stay Safe initiative. So I would urge everyone to stay tuned to bayfuture.com and our social media account on Facebook to stay up to date with the most up-to-date information. So,
thank you, Trevor. Appreciate that. And now I'd like to turn things over to Veronica Horn, President and CEO of the Saginaw County Chamber of Commerce, to introduce today's speaker.
Thank you, Ryan, and thank all of the panelists for their participation, but especially to Consumers Energy, who has really stepped up to support this region in our community. It's my pleasure to introduce Lauren Youngdahl Snyder, Vice President of Consumers Energy Company. Lauren Youngdahl Snyder is Vice President of Customer Experience for Consumers Energy, Michigan's largest electric and natural gas utility, serving 6.7 million of the state's 10 million residents, and in all 68 Lower Peninsula counties. She was named to this position in July of 2017. Youngdahl Snyder has overall responsibility for delivering a consistent end-to-end customer experience and leading organizations that research, develop, market, and implement Consumers Energy customer programs and services. Responsibilities include economic development strategy and business customer operations that support Michigan's growth, as well as innovation of waste energy reduction and renewable energy programs that enable the company's clean energy plan for Michigan. Youngdahl Snyder joined Consumers Energy in 2004 and has held increasingly responsible leadership roles, gaining experience in marketing, regulatory affairs, meter reading operations, smart energy technology, contact center operations, and strategic planning. She previously served as the Executive Director of Customer Experience and Marketing Strategy and was responsible for a multi-billion-dollar program portfolio. She holds an MBA and a BBA in marketing from Michigan State University's Eli Broad College of Business and earned a bachelor's degree in international relations from Michigan State University's James Madison Honors College. She serves on the Grand Valley State University School of Engineering Advisory Board, is a member of the Michigan Women Forward Power of 100, and was nominated to serve on the statewide Michigan Women Forward Board. It's my pleasure to introduce Lauren Youngdahl Snyder.
Thank you, Veronica. I'm so glad to be here with all of you today to share the efforts that Consumers Energy has underway to support Michigan's small businesses and all of you. So the first thing I want to start with is safety and the importance of safety. So at Consumers Energy, this is actually our #1 priority. We actually start our days and every single meeting that we have with a safety tailboard. Whether you're in the field or you're in your office, we talk about keeping safety top of mind. And so I want to reassure all of you that we are taking the necessary measures to care for you, our customers, our coworkers, and our community. We are following and practicing all the CDC recommended health and safety guidelines. We started working remotely before the stay-at-home order came into place. And for those who are out in the field, we are demonstrating the 6 feet of social distancing rules and wearing masks. And when we enter customers' home, making sure that they are comfortable with that, and definitely wearing masks in those situations. And my coworkers who are out in our different facilities where we generate electricity, our coal plants, for example, we have quarantined those coworkers, sequestered them, if you will, in the sense that they are on a 14-day rotation where they literally live on site in RVs for 14 days and then rotate out. So definitely keeping safety very top of mind to ensure that we are delivering the essential services of gas and electricity to all of you. The next thing that I want to share is to help ground you in the other 3 priorities that we have as a company, centered around people, planet, and prosperity. When I say people, I mean all of you listening, our customers, my coworkers, and the community that we serve. We really are a people-centered company. Planet, we've put a big stake in the ground to retire our entire coal fleet by 2040 and be net zero, which is a pretty progressive path forward for an energy company. And so I'm going to get into that a little bit later in our time together, but ensuring that we are creating a sustainable and environmentally friendly future for our customers is a key priority for our company. And then prosperity. Small businesses are the backbone of Michigan's economy. And we want to make sure, especially during this COVID situation, that we are with you, that we're partnering with you to help bridge the gap to get us through this unprecedented time, because I do believe there is a light at the end of this tunnel, and we want to make sure that we all come out on the other side together. So let me jump into some of the things that we are working on specifically to help all of you. The first thing is around payment plans and arrangements. I cannot encourage you enough that if you have a question or a concern, or you've gotten your bill, or you need help to make a payment arrangement or a plan, to call us. I have a team of coworkers that are there to serve you. They're there to answer questions, to get creative. In fact, we've talked about this, that only escalate when you are going to tell a customer no. And so let's figure out what is going to be required to make a very customized, personalized plan to help you get through these financial stressors. The next thing is around energy efficiency. So energy efficiency is a great way to help reduce costs immediately. It goes dollars right to the bottom line. So there are things that you can do within your business to help reduce your energy costs. And typically, before this pandemic, we would actually offer in-business audits and assessments. And now in this state where we've pulled most of our customer-facing programs, we're trying something new. nothing like a forcing function of a pandemic to increase creativity and agility here. But what we're doing is we're offering virtual assessments. So we have experts in this space who, using your cell phone, you walk us around your business and we will give you recommendations, tips, to really help you understand where you can start to see savings. And when I mean savings, I mean literally that your next month's bill or the month after that's bill is impacted in the right direction for you. We'll also help, we offer several rebates on lighting, on several other things that can help impact your bottom line, and we can help you with that rebate process. Because I know the last thing that you want to do is probably work on a rebate process form when you've got bigger things to do. So we want to be a partner with you on that. The next is around stimulus funding support, specifically the Paycheck Protection Program. I hope that all of you have heard this. This is not the first time, as I'm saying it, that you've heard it. What we've also done with the team members that I spoke about earlier who are working on payment arrangements is we have skilled them up to become experts in the space of the federal and state level stimulus funding. So they know how to navigate it. They know what steps to talk you through. They know how to support you. The other thing that we've worked on too that's really hot off the press this week, our Vice President of Tax, this is a team effort over here, has put together, working with stakeholders in our Jackson community, so it has great input from stakeholders who are running businesses, a checklist that's really kind of a survival checklist. It's an Excel spreadsheet that details the things you should be thinking about, from unemployment types of benefits to you name it. I think we've covered all the ground. And if we haven't, I want to get your feedback on this checklist. But the whole idea is everything to be thinking about as we navigate this crisis together. The next two are around the Pure Business Michigan Connect and our virtual summit. So the whole idea here is we were a founding member in this Pure Business Michigan Business Connect. And the idea here is to match up suppliers with buyers. And it's become a virtual space. So check out those websites to see where there's opportunities that your business could perhaps lean in and connect with different buyers. There's also a space here around ways that companies are shifting their production or the things that they're working on to be very COVID specific. So these are great resources for you too. And then finally, as we think about a return to work case, and I think, I'm hearing, I get daily updates. My team is doing proactive phone calls. We try and hit at least 100 proactive phone calls a day to businesses across Michigan. And so we've got really good insights real time from customers. And we're starting to see some really great lights at the end of the tunnel, if you will, and people starting to gear back up into business. And so we want to be a partner to help you with that. And one of the things on customers' minds that we're hearing is around safety, right? We're going back into a new world. I just went to, I had a doctor's appointment yesterday, eye doctor appointment. And the process to go into the eye doctor for a routine checkup was like I'd never experienced it before, right? The PPE that's required, the testing, the temperature testing, the whole deal is going to be a new world. And I suspect that's not going to change anytime soon. So as we think about safety protocol, as I mentioned, that's a top priority for us at Consumers Energy. We have experts in this space that can help you navigate that. So we've put together a one-pager on kind of safety best practices. But as we move through this together, we also want to be working with you on other tools that would be of service as you start to get back into your return to work mode. So the other thing I want to make sure you know too is from a supporting our community standpoint, we have allocated and reallocated many dollars from our Consumers Energy Foundation for grants to organizations that are very focused on vulnerable customers, who are very focused on organizations like Michigan State, who has an effort underway to produce face masks like never before. So I just want to remind and make sure that you know that as a commitment to our communities, we are also making sure that we're providing grant dollars, especially as we fight this COVID together. I mentioned this earlier. I was going to talk to you about our clean energy future and our planet. And so while we are in the midst of a crisis and we've got all hands on deck to help support that, we still have our eyes on the long term because we believe it's important to do. And as we think about retiring our coal fleet and moving more to sustainable options for our customers and for our company, it's going to require a great partnership between all of us. And so the two things I want to highlight here are our energy efficiency programs, which I hit on earlier. Really, these help with your bottom line. Please check them out. This is as a residential customer too, so look at that through that lens as well. And then our demand response programs, the same thing. Right now we've got a campaign around offering free Nest E thermostats. So check that out. You can get a free thermostat and you sign up for our smart thermostat program. And it's a great way during the summer to reduce your energy bill. So I want to highlight those two things. We're doing several other things. If you take a look at that website, you can learn more about our point of view on what 2040 looks like, what our fuel mix will look like, how we're thinking about customer programs. Lots of great information in there, but I want to highlight those two. The first two you see up there because I believe they're cost-saving measures that can help you right now. So with that, I just want to say thank you for the time this morning. Thanks for the opportunity to share what Consumers Energy is doing. I hope that you walk away from this knowing that we are committed to you. We're committed to your success. We want to partner with you. Please do not hesitate to reach out to us. There's the phone number listed there. Our website has everything I just mentioned, that one slide that had all the different ways that we're helping support with information. We've got that on our website. There's a one-pager that articulates all of that and more. And at the end of this, through this, if you've got feedback or ideas or suggestions on ways that Consumers Energy can partner with you, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. Reach out to me, reach out to Kelly. I really think this is an opportunity for us to show that we're more than just an energy company. We're here to partner with you to get through this crisis together. So thank you.
All right. Thank you, Lauren. I know that's a lot of great information for our members. And I also know that you mentioned that your slide deck will be available for those who are watching this later. So thank you for that.
Yes. Yep.
With that, we have a few questions that have been submitted. I want to get right into those for everyone. The first question is, what types of questions are you receiving from your business and residential customers? And then kind of as a follow-up, is there anything that Consumers is doing proactively to assist customers during the crisis?
Thank you. So I would say that the majority of the calls that we're getting across the board have to do with help in making payments or scheduling some kind of payment arrangement. And as I mentioned earlier, we really are trying to get creative and provide really personalized solutions. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach. And so, but that's been the predominant input right now from our customers as to why they're calling, because many of them are starting to get their first bills. And so we're anxious to help navigate that and provide really customized solutions. And, you know, we're not just waiting for customers to call us. We have been doing proactive outreach. My team is making at least 100 touch points with different customers a day. And it's been really helpful, actually. You know, we're getting some great feedback from customers. I mean, the reason that we're reaching out is to check in, see how they're doing, if there's anything we can do to help. And talk about energy efficiency, talk about demand response, talk about payment plan arrangements, talk about the stimulus funding availability, because I do think that's a big differentiator. You know, I will say, as I digress on this stimulus topic for a minute, during the first round of funding, we were number 8. Michigan came in number 8 out of 10 in terms of funding. And we just had that second round come earlier this week. And I am bound, my team and I are bound and determined to get us to that number 1 spot. We want every small business customer in Michigan to take advantage of this. So, so we've been talking about that. And then, you know, what's been interesting is because of the insights we're getting from our business customers, the toolkit that I talked about earlier around the survival guide was actually input from our business customers saying like, oh my gosh, there's so many things I have to be thinking about. How do I do this? And so to have us help co-author that, I think demonstrates the partnership that we want to have with our business customers because it helps take a burden off of them, right? We tried to identify every little thing to think about so that you don't have to. And then I think too, this whole idea of like, as we get ready to return to work, the safety practices, we are an expert in this space and we can be helpful. So I think it's been really cool to see so far, and we're still early in this, the opportunities that, again, go back to not what you would naturally think. It's beyond energy, or it's beyond electricity and gas on ways that we can help partner to support our business customers.
Thank you. I know we've seen through our organization a lot of positive feedback on those proactive calls as well. Members and
Good.
customers really appreciate someone reaching out to them while they're struggling. So
Good. Thank you for that feedback. I'm glad.
but if a customer calls because they're having some problems, what's the average wait time?
Yeah, so as mentioned earlier, I provided a phone number that goes directly to our business center, and our business center is a dedicated team that serves our small business customers. So the average wait time, we have a metric, not to get too technical on you, called average speed of answer, and our target is 60 seconds or less. And we, over the last month, have seen numbers well below 60 seconds. So you can rest assured that it is fast and easy. When you call, you're going to speak right directly to one of my team members. And yeah, it's quick and easy. That's what we're striving for.
Great. So you mentioned some of the energy efficiency programs that you offer and kind of those virtual opportunities to begin that assessment right now during the stay home, stay safe order. What does that virtual assessment look like? Is it walking around with a GoPro?
Well, possibly, or your cell phone. So what will happen is it'd be a phone call with one of my team members, and it's using your cell phone. We ask you to kind of take it. There's a whole process where you walk around your facility, your space, and by just having that phone call with us, we will give you $100 to our Consumers Energy Marketplace, which is a great site. You got to check it out. It has all sorts of different energy efficiency types of tools, and like, for instance, thermostats, light bulbs, those types of things. And so we're immediately, just by having the conversation with us, we'll give you that gift certificate. But then, yeah, my team member will walk through, okay, this is the first kind of lay of the land. It's a series of actually 3 phone calls. And so the next would then be, okay, so we've done the analysis. Here's what we think the right measures to take are, and then there'd be a follow-up. So, and again, if it takes more than 3 phone calls, we're happy to assist beyond that. But that's the real intent of this.
Okay, great. And it looks like we've reached our final question. Through your foundation, are there grants that are available for local nonprofits?
Great question. I'm going to actually turn that over to Kelly to elaborate.
That's a great question. And I will share with you that our Consumers Energy Foundation is really looking at ways to support small businesses across the state. We are and have given away dollars already, but I anticipate more dollars will be coming. And once we have what that's going to look like, that information will be made available to not only our economic development partners, but also the chamber partners of ours, and they'll be able to share that information from there.
Well, thank you, Kelly, and thank you, Lauren. Now, I'd like to turn things over to Tony Stamas, President and CEO of the Midland Business Alliance.
Thanks, Ryan, and I want to express also my thanks to Lauren, to Kelly, and the entire Consumers Energy team for joining us today, really providing important information for our businesses, for our residents. And, this is a great example of the partnership that we have in this region, working with Ryan, with the Bay Area Chamber, Veronica at the Saginaw County Chamber, Joanne at Saginaw Future, and Trevor with Bay Future, that we're all working together. We understand how critical it is to get information out to our community like this from Consumers Energy, and we partner together. And as my counterpart said, we have information available at mbami.org. Try and collect all that information so you can find those resources, certainly on our Facebook page. But know that we're working together to making sure that we're finding the best practices and the best information for all of you. So thanks again to Consumers Energy for today. Thank you for joining us. Thank you all for what you're doing for your local businesses, your communities, and your neighbors. Have a great day.